Good morning, everybody. My name is Shannon Clements. Some call me the nomadic author. Others call me mental. Why? Because I like to think a lot. And right now, it's not as any just certain thing that I don't do. That I want to think about today. I'm just getting ready. It's early in the morning, as you see. Early. It's still dark. I'm about to get out here and do my pre-trip as usual. As a matter of fact, today's date is October the 17th, 2019. It's a Thursday morning. And I'm still messing around with a load that I was supposed to have to deliver yesterday. But didn't get a chance to. Due to the fact that what happened? Oh, not yesterday, but the day before I was on a different load. I had tried to make. I was supposed to. When I picked the load, I had an all day drop on that load. But when I got there, I was told that I had an appointment time to drop my load, which was at 10 o'clock at night, which means that I was delayed 4 hours, and I didn't get the chance to make it to the next shipment to pick up in time because of that. And so that delayed me 4 hours. So I went and finally dropped that load off, and then went to pick my other load up, and I had to make a quick run to go grab a load strap. So by the time I got the load done, I only had an hour left of my time, so that shortened me an extra hour. So that was a total of 5 hours I was shorted. So I just went on and stayed there at the shipper and just put in my time there. So therefore, when I picked this load up in the morning, yesterday morning, and then got it all the way here, I said I was looking at it. I called them. I asked them because I saw the sign on there. It's talking about they close around at 1 o'clock. I'm like 1 o'clock. So I called them. They said they stopped taking loads at 4 o'clock because that's when they shut the docks down. 4 o'clock. I look at it. It's 7 o'clock. It's going on 7 o'clock. In the afternoon. So I backtracked it 5 hours. I said, well, shoot. I should have been here at 5 hours missed yesterday. I should have been here around 2 o'clock yesterday. Not yesterday. Said from the day before. I was 5 hours behind, so therefore I should have been there at 2 o'clock, not 7 o'clock. So that kind of like screwed everything up. And so now here it is. The next morning, I'm still dealing with this load when I should have been off, picking up another load, and then driving on my way to the delivery on my next load. So I'm behind right now, and it's going to be a real tight day today. So it's kind of like everything's kind of like screwed up right now because of a delay. And so therefore, I'm wondering if I can get detention pay on this because of that, because I got to get detention pay on the other one because of that 4 hour delay, which made me late for my next. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened the last time. One shipper threw a curveball at me, and it delayed me so many hours, and then I was late to get to the next shipper, and then they was going through. They was dealing with ransomware. Remember I mentioned this before. Dealing with ransomware, and that's where I ended up having to park in their parking lot overnight. I was there for over 24 hours, and I didn't get paid detention pay because of that. But everybody at the office knew what was going on. Just like on this right here. You know, so it is what it is. I still got to talk to them and see if I can still get that detention pay about that. Because it's wasting a lot of my time dealing with stuff like this that they should have told me, but they didn't. Now it's not even in the instructions. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out here and do my pre-trip real quick. So I can make sure that my truck is properly maintained. You see, people will try to say you don't have the necessary tools to properly do a pre-trip and everything. When 9 times out of 10, you do have them. I got the tool that I need. You see, I have one of these too. It's an air pressure gauge, but I also got one of these, a tire tread gauge on top of that, where I can check the tire tread. So I do that. You might have not seen me do it on video, but I do check the tire pressure and everything. And then when I get finished doing that, I throw it right back here in this, what you call it. You see it say tire gauge, and then check PSIs up to over 100, from 10 to 150 PSI. And I keep all my tires at 110. Because, you know, when you be out here, you going over your tire, you know what I'm saying, going over your pre-trips and everything. Your tires do get to looking a little low. But at the same time, when you check the tire pressure gauges, I know, you know what I'm saying, because at times, just to check up on myself, I would stop at a Love's. They get a tire check too. And they'll tell me, I said, well, it's looking a little low. Well, when we check the tire pressures, it's exactly where it's supposed to be. I said, oh, okay. What am I supposed to do? Now, in the previous video, I did tell you to check, look through the mirrors. I did all that before I even stepped out. It's part of safety. Check back there. As you can see, I'm in a well-lit area on top of that. It's a little foggy out here on top of that, so yeah, you know how that go. Now, the other day, I did notice, cause I did my pre-trip. Cause I know I had them fill up my coolant reservoir. As you can see, it's right there. It said cold minimum and cold fill. It was, when I had it filled up, my cold minimum was right here, below the cold minimum line. So I had to add a little coolant to it. And so, because I was low, having that low coolant, you know what I'm saying, could turn around and cause your engine to overheat. I said that in the previous video on top of that. Now, after doing that, I ended up seeing this. Remember in my previous videos that I've done my pre-trips on, you didn't see all of this right here. You see that? All of that stuff, like right there. It's caked up right around there. You know, so it looked like it's been squirting a little bit. That's a line that's leading from my coolant reservoir going into my whatchamacallit. But I don't see the battery starting to get a little weak, you know. But when you look at it, I'm gonna show you to you in a daylight too, you know what I'm saying? Because where I have more light. But right now, I look at that and I see right around the edge, it looked like it was squirting out a little bit. But I don't see evidence of it down on the engine or anything, you know, anywhere beneath it or going around it. So that's one of the things that you want to check for. If you see that right there, right around the little clamp, that's a clamp. That's a hose clamp. You can see where it looks like it's little, same color as that fluid, that fluid in the reservoir. So you know to keep an eye on that, because it might be losing coolant, and you might have to replace that hose. Which, as you can see, it's just a little small rubber hose, you know, so that clamp there, pull the clamp back, pull that hose off, take another hose, put it on there. You know what I'm saying, put it on there, take the clamp off of there, put it on the new hose, then you plug that clamp on there and plug the hose on there and pull the clamp forward, and it's locked back in place. Easy repair that you can do yourself, replacing that hose. Now, when you check your hoses, you're supposed to check to see if they're brittle, like, you know what I'm saying, or kind of hard, or if they like real soft and spongy. That lets you know, that's another way to tell whether or not your hose is any good, and you might have to replace it. Not just that little small, but you see that big hose right here? Check all your hoses. Check and make sure that none of it is going bad on you. And like I said, this is a brand new truck. And so I gotta get on here, give it a little squeeze. Sometimes you have certain things on the inside, like springs on the inside of your hose. I'm guessing that's supposed to help, or something inside, because when you squeeze it, you can feel it. Like a little spring on the inside of your hose. I guess that's supposed to help the hose stay open instead of closing in on you or whatever. Now, also, one of the things I said you want to check, you want to do a smell check around your electronics. Like your alternator right there. If you smell like a rancid smell, or something like it smells like a dead rat. It smells like a dead rat. If you smell that, then you know that your electronics is going bad. Your electric motors is going bad, because they can do that on your starter, your alternator, and the batteries. Batteries over here in the battery compartment. You want to check and make sure there's no evidence of anything leaking. That's another thing where I said you want to look up underneath. See, when you idle, like these trucks over here, that's when you get that little pool up underneath, you know, so that's coming from the condenser, you know, so it's dropping water and everything down on the ground. So not only do you want to do that, after you check your belts and everything, see your belts looks good. It's not all frayed, worn out. It's not it don't have burn marks, you know what I'm saying? Let you know that it's slipping on the wheels. I gotta get some new batteries. You know what I'm saying? So therefore you have to replace your belts and all the other stuff. Again, another hose right here. Hose is feeling good. It's firm, but it's not brittle where it's cracking up and all the other good stuff. You'll check around the edges. You see how this looks? There's nothing around the edges or anything like that, but when I was over there, you seeing evidence of a possible leak. So that's why you want to keep checking. Then after you get finished running your engine check, turn it on. See if you see anything, let it run for a couple minutes. See if you see anything squirting. If you don't see anything squirting, then it might be okay. You might have to get out and check it later. Check the treads of the tire. Treads is good. Like I said, you want to check your hub seals. You don't see no leaking around, evidence of leaking. Pull that out. Look inside, make sure that there's grease inside there, so you won't be tearing up your ball bearings and stuff that's inside your wheel. Check your minimums on the power steering. Check, you see how you got that fluid inside? That's gas. This is your fuel filter. Now it's good, still some good, but at the same time, once it fills up and get this high, when it's off, it's time to change the fuel filter. You know what I mean? Because it's not filtering like it's supposed to. You see, look at that. You see inside, you can see that your fuel filter is actually dirty. It's not that bright yellow like it's supposed to be when it's brand new and you first put it in there. You want to check your connections. Make sure nothing was loose up in there. No wiring was loose or anything like that, but you don't want to tug on it too much, because like I said, after tugging on it so many times, you turn around and loosen the connection or maybe even break it. That's your oil. That's your oil filters. See that one right there and that one right there? That's where your oil filters are. Well, actually, that right there is your oil filter. But I think they says that's possibly an oil filter too, because I think they say you got something like 3 or 4 different oil filters on there. You want to check up under there. See that right there? Looks like it's coming there, but it could have been there before I even got here. I don't see anything leaking. You know? No evidence of anything leaking down here, so that right there could have been there from a prior truck that was going through the problems. And you want to pull your oil dipstick. Alright, your handy dandy little rag so you can check your oil pressure and everything. Check your oil. First you want to pull it out and give it a good clean wipe. Why? Because from the rattling of your engine all day long, it could have just got up on that dipstick and just stuck there. And you won't get a good reading. Take it, put it back. Fuck it. get it actually in there. There we go. Let it sit for a hot second because it's going right down into the oil pan where all the oil collects after it drains up out of the engine. When you pull it the second time, when you hold it straight up down, not to the side, so that way you can get an accurate reading. And as you can see, there's oil all the way up on there. So therefore I know I have oil in my engine. Now if I can just get this there we go. That's one of the importance of keep your engine off before you when you do your pre-trip. So that way you can get a proper oil reading. Then you want to let it click a couple of times so it let it run through its diagnostic, let the computer run through its diagnostic check. That'll let you know whether or not the computer is functioning properly. Come down here, open that. Look around, you know, so these are what you call, this is your battery compartment. Right here. Pull that down. There you got batteries. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 batteries. I got a total of 4 batteries in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The smell check. It doesn't smell rancid or anything, your batteries is still good. Plus your engine started up and everything, so that lets you know that there's enough spark within these batteries to start your engine. And due to the fact that your engine is still running and then cut off, that lets you know that your alternator is also functioning correctly as well. You see how it was originally before I started it? I showed you the cold fill. It was up here between the cold fill and the cold minimum. Now it dropped down because that means coolant went down into the system and ran into the engine and is running through its cycle right now. It's running through its cycle right now. Check the tread on your tire. You don't see any nails or anything like that. And you also want to let it run for a couple minutes. Look, as I said, this is where it was originally. You don't see no squirting right now. It's a little loud because of the engine, but you don't see nothing squirting out, so you're good. You don't see nothing on the ground cooling up on the ground and anything to let you know you're good. So now, I'm going to come back. Now that you've checked over your engine, you made sure everything is fastened down correctly. You checked your hub seals. Well, turn on your hazards. Turn on yours. The lights. Yeah, that's from a previous truck that was here. It's not for me because I don't see no leaks. Anything. Nothing squirting out. Squirting out or anything like that. Trust me, if you got a leak, when you start the engine, it'll let you know. Trust me, you'll see my lights is good. I got my hazards on, flashers are working. All of my clearance lights is working. You got those right there at the front. That at the top of this trailer. And you look on the side right here, I got a blinker there. I got a blinker there. Then I got the rear lights. Want to check over real quick. Nothing. Extra was done. I'm gonna have to pull the hood down so I can show you something too. Check. No dents or nothing like, no new dents. See these trailers be going through problems. All this scraped up, all, you know, so you see it all the way up down there, but I didn't do that. That's from a previous driver. Or check your tire treads. Now, like I said, you can look at it and tell if it's rendered. That's the one I had changed already. I didn't shred the tire. I had a nail in my tire, remember? I didn't get a chance to show you the nail, but that's the reason why I had to change. And the reason why is because I had a nail in the outer wall. I had a nail in the outer wall of the tire. You see how deep that tread is? That tread is good. But if you get a nail down up in there, see, anywhere in between, they can actually patch the tire up. But if you got it in the outer tread right here, and it's puncturing your tire, or you got it in the sidewall, that's what they call an illegal spot. So therefore, they cannot patch that tire. They have to replace the tire. They can't do it on the outer tread or on the sidewalls. Check and make sure no nails, anything like that. See, you got the rocks accumulating. I'm gonna have to pour the rocks out eventually. I'm not saying anything. See, my lights back here is working as well. And see, I got both my that's sturdy. It's not broken off or anything. You know what I'm saying? That's the brackets that I have to keep replacing. You know what I'm saying? You see how much room it is between the trailer and the brackets? So when I'm turning and everything, it could possibly hit on here, but it's still good. But for some odd reason, you see how close that is to the ground, it hits. And sometimes it catch that bad hop. You know what I'm saying? It's not that much room between there either. But that's the short one. You know what I'm saying? It catch that bad hop and this for some odd reason it stiffen up and it push up on that bracket and it'll break it. And it'll break it. But this right here, look how flimsy that is. You know? Look how flimsy that is. So you might catch that bad hop with that, but when you look at that, you see all of that, you know it's not your trailer hitting that. Unless your trailer was down too low and it was coming. But you see how much room is between the bracket, this bracket right here, and the top of that, even at the lowest point, and the trailer coming across, boom. Okay, but this right here is angling up, so it might catch this part and break it off. Or so they say. But with as much room as there is between that, because when the trailer is coming, it's coming along. You see, watch the light. It's coming along